Thank you for joining us on this edition of News Today. Without delay, let's explore the headlines that are shaping the current news landscape. The Water, Prevention and Control of Pollution Amendment Bill 2024 has been introduced in Rajya Sabha. Public Examinations Prevention of Unfair Means Bill 2024 has been introduced in Lok Sabha. The Supreme Court issued notice on Haryana government plea challenging striking down of 75% domicile quota in private jobs. Smart food grain storage system transferred to industry as a step towards innovation, science and technology theme of Viksit Bharat at 2047. Annual Survey of Industries released by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Women-owned MSMEs are underrepresented on the Udyam Registration Portal. Starting with the first news. The Water, Prevention and Control of Pollution Amendment Bill 2024 has been introduced in the Rajya Sabha. The bill will amend the Water, Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974, enacted under Article 252 of the Constitution. Let's dive into its key highlights. It empowers central government to exempt certain categories of industrial plants from provision relating to restriction on new outlets and new discharges. It prescribes manner of nomination of chairman of State Pollution Control Board. Also, it issues guidelines for grant, refusal or cancellation of consent by any state board for establishment of any industry, operation and treatment, and to appoint an adjudicating officer who is an officer not below Joint Secretary to the Centre or a Secretary to the State to hold an inquiry and to impose the penalty. Contraventions of provisions for which no penalty has been provided in the Act shall attract a penalty of Rs 10,000 to Rs 15 lakhs. Persistence of contravention shall attract a penalty which may extend to Rs 10,000 per day. Also, crediting penalty amount to be credited to the Environmental Protection Fund established under Environment Protection Act 1986. Lastly, an appeal against the order of the adjudicating officer may be made to the National Green Tribunal. Now let's also talk about Article 252 of the Constitution. It empowers Parliament to legislate on any matters with respect to which it lacks legislative powers except as provided in Articles 249 and 250. Article 249 and Article 250 empower Parliament to legislate on matters in the state list in the national interest and if proclamation of emergency is in operation. Also, Parliament can legislate on such matters if two or more state legislatures pass resolution to this effect. Any such act by the Parliament shall apply to states passing such resolution and to any other state by which it is adopted. Also, such act could be amended or repealed only by the Parliament. In our next news, Public Examinations Prevention of Unfair Means Bill 2024 has been introduced in Lok Sabha. The objective of the bill is to bring greater transparency, fairness and credibility to the public examination systems. It will supplement the other initiatives of the government in this direction, such as introducing self-attestation, shortening examination cycles from 18 to 22 months to 6 to 10 months. It will serve as a model draft for states to adopt at their discretion. Now let's discuss and understand the need of the bill. Malpractices in public examinations lead to delays and cancellation of examinations, adversely impacting the prospects of millions of youth. Reportedly, over the last 5 years, leaks affected as many as 1.4 crore applicants applying for a little over 1.04 lakh posts. At present, there is no specific substantive law to deal with unfair means adopted or offences committed. Now let's have a look at the key features of the bill. It covers examinations held by the Union Public Service Commission, the Staff Selection Commission, Railways and the National Testing Agency. The offences under it will be cognizable, non-bailable and non-compoundable, which means that involved parties cannot compromise. If we talk about provisions for punishment, then these include minimum of 3 to 5 years of imprisonment, and organized crimes groups will face 5 to 10 years of imprisonment and a minimum fine of Rs 1 crore. The Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions has also decided to set up a high-level National Technical Committee on Public Examinations. It shall look into developing protocols for insulating digital platforms, devising ways and means for developing effective IT security systems. Moving on to the next news. The Supreme Court issued notice on Haryana government plea challenging striking down of 75% domicile quota in private jobs. In November 2023, Punjab and Haryana High Court quashed Haryana State Employment of Local Candidates Act 2020. The court declared the act as unconstitutional and violative of Part 3 of Fundamental Rights of the Constitution of India. The Act provided 75% reservation to locals in private sector jobs who are having a monthly salary of less than Rs 30,000. Other states like Andhra Pradesh have also enacted similar acts. Now the question arises, why are states pushing for local reservation in the private sector? Private sector is the biggest job creator, thus reservation can fulfill the commitment to social justice. States like Haryana are facing high unemployment rates. Also, mechanization in agriculture is pushing local people toward private sector jobs. The private sector benefits from the government, that is tax concessions and cheaper loans, thus can be asked to implement affirmative policy. Now let's understand and discuss the concerns raised in this issue. It violates Article 14, 16, which is right to equality, and Article 19, Clause 5, which is right to freedom to practice any profession or to carry on any occupation, trade or business. Also, it may push businesses to migrate due to lack of skilled workforce. Additionally, it fuels son of the soil syndrome, which means preferring locals in other states as well. Lastly, it stands against the fundamental principle of merit.
Moving on to the next news. Smart food grain storage system transferred to industry as a step towards innovation, science and technology theme of Viksit Bharat at 2047. Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology or MEITY transferred the technology for Smart Food Grain Storage System or SAF-EETY to the industry. The technology for SAF-EETY was developed by the Society for Applied Microwave Electronics Engineering and Research or SAMEER. SAMEER is an autonomous research and development institution under Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. It features conveyorized loading and unloading of grain bags having radio frequency identification RFID for traceability, online weight and moisture measurement with radio frequency based removal of moisture from grain. Now let us first start by understanding what is the need for the scientific food grain storage system. The low production capacity in India accounts for 18% of the global population but only 11% of the arable land. Moreover, India's food grain storage capacity is only 145 MMT, covering 47% of the total production at 311 MMT, deeming it to be inadequate. The FCI has grains beyond its buffer capacity, which also requires a robust network of food grain storage facilities. The robust storage will reduce wastage and also will keep farm produce less volatile to market fluctuations and boost food grain exports. Further, let's talk about the initiatives for the scientific food grain storage system. The world's largest grain storage plan in cooperative sector has been approved to establish decentralized storage capacity at primary agricultural credit societies level. Agricultural Marketing Infrastructure or AMI scheme has been presented for construction or renovation of godowns or warehouses in rural areas. Agriculture Infrastructure Fund will further provide financing facilities for post-harvest management, infrastructure and community farming assets. Moving on to the next news. Annual Survey of the Industries released by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Annual Survey of Industries or ASI is the principal source of industrial statistics in India. The survey is conducted under the Collection of Statistics Act 2008. It covers all factories registered under the Factories Act 1948. Also, it covers unit under the Bidi and Cigar Workers Condition of Employment Act 1966. However, the defense establishments, oil storage and distribution depots are not covered under it. Now, let us have a look at some of the key highlights of the survey. In terms of gross value addition, Gujarat remained at the top, followed by Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Uttar Pradesh. The top 5 states in terms of employment are Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh and Haryana. The manufacturing sector showed resilience even after the disruption caused by the pandemic. The main driver of resilience included manufacture of basic metal, coke, refined petroleum products, pharmaceutical products and motor vehicles. Now let us discuss about the manufacturing sector. The manufacturing sector contributes around 17% in the gross domestic product. India aims to increase its share to 25% by 2025. It also showcases huge potential of exporting manufactured goods. The key deriving factors of the manufacturing sector are huge domestic demand and foreign direct investment. Some of the challenges faced by the sector are lack of credit availability, low productivity in comparison to other countries like China and Vietnam, informal or unorganized sector, lack of skilled labor and infrastructure bottlenecks. Some initiatives are also taken by the government to overcome these challenges. National Manufacturing Policy 2011, Make in India Initiative 2014, PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan 2021, and others naming Production Linked Incentive Scheme and Industrial Corridor Development Program. Moving on to the last main news of the day. Women-owned MSMEs are underrepresented on the Udyam Registration Portal. Women-owned micro, small, medium enterprises constitute of only 20.5% of MSMEs registered on the URP, that is Udyam Registration Portal, since its inception in 2020. Also, these MSMEs contribute only 10.22% of the total turnover of Udyam registered MSMEs. Additionally, by accelerating women's entrepreneurship, India could create over 30 million women-owned enterprises and around 150 to 170 million jobs. First, let us understand the Udyam Registration Portal or URP. The URP was launched under Ministry of Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises for formalization of MSMEs. It facilitates online registration for MSMEs and generates unique registration number and Udyam Assist certificate for MSMEs. Unique registration number or URN is essential for a bank loan to an MSME to be classified under priority sector lending. Further, moving on to the challenges faced by women entrepreneurs. Poor digital and technical skills of women due to low literacy rates and also lack of access to mobile and internet. Moreover, they have inadequate access to formal credit as most women do not have assets in their name to pledge as collateral. Also, most women-owned businesses are home-run, micro and informal, further limiting their market spaces. Lastly, a disproportionate burden of care economy and limited mobility for women. Several initiatives have also been taken to promote women entrepreneurs. The Public Procurement Policy 2018 mandates at least 3% annual procurement from women-owned micro and small enterprises by central ministries, departments or undertakings. The Credit Guarantee Scheme for Micro and Small Enterprises provides additional concessions and guarantees for women entrepreneurs. MSME Sustainable Zero Defect Zero Effect Certification Scheme will provide 100% subsidy on cost of ZED certification for women-owned MSMEs. Upgradation and Mahila Kaur Yojana under Kaur Vikas Yojana program and Samarth initiative. The personality in news for today is Rajkumari Amrit Kaur. She was remembered on her death anniversary, that is 6 February. Rajkumari Amrit Kaur played a key role in both pre- and post-independence period. Now let's have a look at her key contributions. She participated in the Salt March and Quit India movement. She fought battle against the various evil practices such as slavery, Parda system, child marriage and Devdasi. She played an important role as a member of the drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly. She was the first health minister of independent India. Also, she laid the foundation of AIIMS, Delhi. Her major literary works were Women in India, Challenge to Women and To Women. She exhibited the values of being passionate, courageous, having perseverance and determination.
As we conclude today's main news, let's take a look at some quick updates. The Prime Minister replied to the motion of thanks on the President's address. Article 87 of the Constitution requires the President's address after each general election. Also, after the first session of every fiscal year addresses both houses of Parliament. A motion of thanks is moved in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha after the President's address by a Member of Parliament of the ruling party. The motion of thanks must be passed in the House. Its defeat amounts to the defeat of the government. It can be adopted with amendments. The Supreme Court evoked Article 142 to remit the 20-year sentence of a person convicted under Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012. Judgment was delivered in response to a curative petition. A curative petition is the last recourse open to a petitioner after the review petition is dismissed. Rules by the Centre are expected to be applicable for grading and marketing of 5 premium non-basmati rice varieties of West Bengal. Under this, the authorized packers have to either set up their own laboratory or use an approved laboratory for testing the quality of rice. For domestic trade, packers have to follow FSSAI standards, and for export, they need to comply with the residual limits fixed by the Codex Alimentarius Commission or importing countries. Ministry of Heavy Industries said that just 38% of the faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicles too subsidy has been used in financial year 24. FAME 2 is the expanded version of FAME 1. It was launched in 2019 for a period of 3 years. It aims to encourage faster adoption of electric and hybrid vehicles. The Electricity 2024 report was released by the International Energy Agency. The key highlights include electricity consumption from data centers, artificial intelligence, and the cryptocurrency sector could double by 2026. Clean electricity supply is forecast to meet all of the world's demand growth through 2026. Renewables are set to provide more than one-third of total electricity generation globally by early 2025, overtaking coal. The Healthy Indian Project has joined the WHO-led Project Vaccine Safety Net. THIP, a private company, is a dedicated health information and fact-checking platform with a particular focus on verified vaccine safety information. Vaccine Safety Net, initiated by WHO in 2003, aims to help internet users to find reliable information on vaccine safety. Gamma Ray Astronomy PEV Energy S Phase 3 or GRAPES 3 discovered a new feature in the cosmic ray proton spectrum at about 166 tera-electron-volt energy. GRAPES 3 Nooty, Tamil Nadu is a collaboration of Tata Institute of Fundamental Research and other Indian institutions with Japan. It is designed to study cosmic rays with an array of air shower detectors and a large area muon detector. Flight trials of Abhyas Heat were successfully carried out by the Defense Research and Development Organization. Abhyas is designed for autonomous flying with the help of an autopilot. It is indigenously developed by the DRDO's Aeronautical Development Establishment. It has radar cross-section, visual and infrared augmentation system required for weapon practice. Before we go, it's time to put your knowledge to test in today's segment of Test Your Learning. Thank you for joining us. We hope you have enjoyed this edition of News Today. To get the answers to today's quiz and to download the PDF of News Today, make sure to check out the links in the description below.